Shall we start now?
Sure.
So first of all, good evening, Mr. Reese. Thank you so much for joining us today for this interview session. We truly appreciate your time and very glad to have you here. Before we begin, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Nurzulaka and you can call me Zulaika, and this is my partner.
My name is Afrina Nesma. You can call me Afrina.
Right, nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you.
All right, so we are English communication students from College Professional Mara Sri Iskandar Perak. As part of our pragmatics in intercultural communication assignment, we are conducting this interview session with you. So let's get started. Could you please introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background?
Okay, so my name is Wishendral Normalam, as you can see from my profile. I'm currently a university student at Bandung Institute of Technology, and I'm majoring in engineering.
All right. So let's start with the first interview question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So for the first question, in Malaysia, people are often identified by ethnic labels such as Malay, Chinese, or Indian. In your country, is it common for people to be labeled or grouped this way?
Not really. We don't really label people based on race. I guess satirically between friends, just as a joke, but as a community, I haven't really seen any grouping like, oh, you're Chinese, so you should go here, or something like that. We just appreciate each other.
Oh, so you don't have like Chinese, Indian, or
No, not really. We just coexist within each other, so there's really no difference. I guess there's some places in which there are many Chinese or many Indian people, depending on their race, but it's mostly because they just chose to be there together. But if there are people coming there to like explore or eat food, they usually just welcome them.
oh, I see. So then you don't have your country doesn't have specific labels, correct?
From my point of view, in which I live, yes.
I see. Thank you. Nice information. Aku break. Alright. Excuse me. Do you think labels are influenced by the social position of the speaker? I mean, do you think?
Uh,
Hmm.
there are definitely some cases in which there are labels between people hierarchically, but if you if there are some people in which there are like Chinese or Indian in the same place, they usually just respect each other and not bother each other unless there are some like fights between them, but it's usually just they stick to their own race because they feel more comfortable with them, but at the same time they don't mind being with each other, like
Oh,
from the different races.
all right. Thank you. So let's move on to the next question. How do people in your country typically use social media to express their opinions or identity? Do you think people in your country are genuine on social media? Because in Malaysia, many feel that people are not always real or authentic on social media. Is it the same in your country?
uh People here are very bold when using social media. They have to talk a lot and express their opinions without really thinking the consequence of saying said opinion. So most of them sounds quote unquote rude because again, there's really no repercussion for saying something online. As for authenticity, I think people are true to themselves, but if they're I kind of need to know the definition of authenticity there. Like, is it about people being true to themselves or true to their culture? Because here, culture online, it's like they don't really apply it, I guess, if it's the correct word. They more like embrace it, but they don't do it themselves.
So so you think that people in your country uh, is the same on social media and in real life?
I feel like yeah.
Right. So what does the people in your country mostly use social media for? Like for business or whatever?
It's for a wide variety of thing. Mostly like talking to each other, I guess. There are some business again. But social media, if you like see on Twitter, on Instagram, it's usually just about people sharing things they like
Mm.
or expressing their opinions.
You mean they use social media for communication, right?
Uh, Me mostly, yeah.
Um, and do you think traditional communication style might diminish and why?
Definitely not, because people are gonna be still talking to each other verbally without like having to text. People will still meet each other. They won't be always online. I feel like that's the case.
All right, that's all for my part. So next, I will be passing to my partner for the next questions.
Okay,
Okay.
so for my question is, how is personal space like handshakes or hugs viewed in your culture? This personal space is important, and how close can you be with the person during an interaction?
Important, yes, but we also do not really mind if you try to do handshake or hug us. If we're uncomfortable, we usually just say it. Me personally, I love having physical contact with my friends, like hugging them or having handshake. But yeah, just as a friend.
Okay, in what situation is it acceptable to shake hands or hug someone in your culture?
Oh yeah, that it's acceptable. It's not something rude. It's just something you do as if you meet someone new or if you want to greet someone. That's one of the proper ways to do it.
So why do you think following guidelines like personal space, not smiling are important?
Because it really it makes people express themselves a lot better without like without facial expressions or having physical contact. I feel like you can't really what you want to
Sorry,
mean.
you were making just now. We couldn't
What?
get what you're saying.
Oh,
It was a
I'll repeat it. In my opinion, it's really important because without facial expressions or physical interaction, you can't really interact with someone properly because you don't know what they mean just from like talking or stuff like that. Like if you're proud of someone, maybe you can say something like, "Oh, I'm proud of you," but if you like pat them on the back, that feels even better, you know.
right.
Okay, moving on to the another question. What kind of expression in your culture that people are often misinterpret?
Usually satirical phrases that include something offensive because I don't know. I feel like people here can't really take something as a joke. Like people usually take something seriously, but if you increase your tone or maybe give a facial expression, it's usually acceptable, I guess. It's more like social cues.
Okay. Do you think a smile only indicate when the person is happy, or do you think there's another meaning behind the smile?
There's definitely a lot of meaning. For me, I just take it as is. If people are smiling, then I assume they're fine with whatever going on with their life. If they're hiding something, then yeah, that's their business. I don't wanna do something that I can't take back. If you understand what I mean, like I just feel like if people are smiling, then that means in their current position in that time, they're feeling fine.
Are there any facial expressions that are considered rude in your country? In your
Uh,
country?
I guess if you're being like angry and shouting at someone, I guess that could be considered rude. But from my perspective, facial expression is usually just like things you do uh to express yourself better, definitely. But like being rude, I usually don't see someone having a facial expression of being rude.
Have you ever encountered someone being rude to you?
Well, yeah, definitely. But like they usually it's usually rude from like the other perspective, as if, oh, they're pushing me or they're shouting at me, not from the facial expression.
Okay, I see.
Okay, now we're at our last question. Have you ever misunderstood something important because of language barriers? And how did you resolve this situation?
Uh, Not really, because here there is one main language, which is Bahasa Indonesia, that everybody basically understands. So there's not any language barrier. I guess with like foreigners that I need to speak English, but I can speak English decently well, so I don't really have any problems with that.
Do you have problem if you talk with like Malaysian, they have different accent like in
Oh,
I mean
yeah, yeah. Sometimes, but it's not really that much of a problem. You usually kind of get the gist of what they want to say, and if I don't understand, I just ask what they want to say and ask them to repeat it.
alright, since you are still in university, have you ever encountered any of this problem like you don't understand what they are saying to you?
Not at all actually. It's been fine. There's no problems. I guess with foreigners, I had to speak.
Okay.
Uh, with my other Indonesian friends, it's usually just we kind of understand each other, even when they have an accent.
I see. So what if the person doesn't really what if the person doesn't use English as their second language? I mean they just use one language. So how you understand their language?
Uh, as a foreigner or as a Indonesian.
It's in Indonesian, but the person you're talking to is a foreigner. Maybe he is maybe they are asking for your direction, but you don't understand what they are saying. They are using their own language and kind of speak English.
I I haven't encountered that really, but I guess I would use Google Translate or something like that to help us communicate.
Do you think religious differences can cause conflict between you and the other person?
Uh, Maybe, but I really haven't encountered that problem. So again, I can't say for myself, but I feel like people would generally understand what I want to say, and I would understand also what they want to say. So there hasn't really been any problem with that.
Oh, I see. So in your country, people like respect each other religion or what? Or there are some people
Yeah,
that doesn't respect each other religions.
from from where I live, they usually just respect each other. They don't really disturb each other. Like if there's a church that's going at like 8 a.m., they would be not as loud or something. If there are any other like Muslims or any other religion, really, we just respect each other's space. Yeah.
So there are no religion differences stereotype in your country. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say yes either. There are definitely cases, but from my point of view and where I live, there hasn't been any cases.
I see.
In your experience, have you ever helped someone else who was struggling with a language issue? And what do you do?
Uh, I haven't found anyone really. I guess just talking in normal Indonesian because people understand that. Like people all over Indonesia understand that language, so there really hasn't been any language barrier.
Okay. To conclude our interview session on the topic of pragmatics and intercultural communication, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation for your time and thoughtful participation. Your insights have provided meaningful perspectives on how language and context interact across cultures. Your contributions are highly valuable to our research, and we are grateful for your cooperation. Thank you once again, and we wish you continued success in your academic and professional pursuits. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us today.
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.